So I didn't get the gig. Got to talk about some stuff today. Just kind of more important, I guess, life stuff than necessarily guitar related stuff, because quite a few years ago I got offered a pretty sweet gig and I ended up going out trying out for it and it didn't happen. So we're gonna talk about that. Now, before we get to all that stuff though, real quick, my brand new course, chord inversion workout, is ending tomorrow. So if you guys want to snag that while it's there, you totally can. And still the 50% off, and then tomorrow's the live clinic. So boom. So I couldn't talk about this before because there were NDAs involved and all that stuff, but since enough time has passed, that stuff doesn't count anymore. Back in 2016, maybe 2015, I'm not sure, Fender actually reached out to me, maybe it's 2017, about being a Fender play instructor. They liked my videos, and I have a very good relationship with Fender now. And as I did back then, there's never been a bad relationship. Asked me if I wanted to come try out to be a Fender play instructor, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, let's do it. And basically, I would be flying back and forth from California and Ohio every other week. I would fly out there for like 3 or 4 days, come back home. Then 2 weeks would pass. I'd fly back out there, shoot a bunch of content. They wanted somebody for more of the like rock, like 80s kind of stuff, and they said that they thought that I was the guy for it. And I'm like, that's awesome. Felt really good, was excited about it. Was not probably mentally prepared or physically prepared for what was about to go down in that situation, because it was so different. Like when I'm doing these videos talking to a camera, it's usually just one camera, maybe two. I think now, if I had to go audition for this thing, it would be a completely different thing. Like, I don't know if I would get the gig or not, but my confidence in front of the camera and talking is way different than what it was back then. So, I go out there, they pay for the plane ticket, all that stuff, nice hotel. I'm like, man, this is cool. You go out there, meet someone who I'm still friends with, Dinesh. He works over at Gibson now, actually. Funny enough, was at Fender as at Gibson. But anyways, go out there, get to the studio, which right there is the first red flag. I did not prepare the way I should have. They gave me a list of songs to learn the songs. I knew the stuff, but when I got there, I was so nervous. I didn't prepare the right way. Like I said, nowadays, I've been in studios, been in front of camera rigs, all that kind of stuff. It would be a different, different way of me presenting myself in this. But in that situation, I was terrified. It was terrifying because it wasn't this. This is a single camera that I'm talking to. I'm used to this. I'm used to 2 cameras, 3 cameras. This was like, you're in a legit studio, like where they could broadcast a TV show. You have giant overhead cameras. These gimbal systems are in place. There's a teleprompter, which I had never done before. So to do all these things, when you're watching these Fender play guys, there's so much more that goes into play than just sitting there teaching a song. Hats off to them, because that is a wild experience. So I get there, and it's all this new stuff. They want to mic you up. They do hair and makeup, like everything. Like it's legit, like a TV show. By this point, like I said, my hands are shaking. I'm sweating because I'm so nervous, and everyone there was so nice. I was just terrified. I wasn't ready. I was like way too green to be thrown into something like that. And I did not do as good as I could have on the audition tape. Now fast forward a little bit, and obviously I didn't get the gig. Again, I was told different things, like, they kind of like shelved the 80s program that they were going to do. Maybe it came out a little bit later. Maybe they just found someone else. I don't know. I know on my part, I didn't do good, and that's okay, because what happened was, even though that seemed like such a great opportunity and I was really excited for it and I wanted to do it, it led me down a whole different path, to continue to work on YouTube, build up the YouTube channel, create this community that we have. And then I started doing, my own courses and all this kind of stuff. I was like, well, I can do that stuff, and in a much more comfortable environment. It's very intense in a lot of that stuff. So, like I said, so much respect to the Fender play instructors, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you might not even, you don't have a clue. Like, it's a legit set that you're on. So, one thing it taught me was that failing's not like a bad thing. I felt bad for myself because I was like, man, I blew that. Man, I was like, that was not the best version of me. So that kind of eats you up inside. But, what can you do? You learn from it. I've been in similar situations now, and I'm completely comfortable. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're doing this now. And at the time, though, that was 2017. So 6 years ago, I was a lot younger, way less experienced, and I don't know, just a good experience because it taught me a lot. Sometimes you've got to fail if everything you do is a success. And I think this is part of the YouTube issue, is in videos, you typically only see people's successes. You constantly see these people succeed, but there's a lot of like falling on your face, all this stuff. So I think that lessons like this is important because what happens is if you just succeed at everything and you never fail, eventually you're gonna fail at something. And if you've spent your whole life, not failing, and all of a sudden you do, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. That's part of it. The success is great. Failing is also great because of what it teaches you. I know this is all like cliche stuff to say, but it really is important, and it taught me a lot. I was like, you know what? I want to get way better at talking to the camera. I want to get way better at playing guitar. I want to get way better at teaching. I want to do all this stuff. I was like, if ever this situation arises again, I'm not failing this time. Like, we got it. I have this little ritual, and I told my son that this is what I do. I was like, dude, anytime you're getting on stage, I'm going to record videos, I'm doing any of this stuff, you're recording for someone, I literally, because I have a lot of anxiety issues, as does my dad, and I count to 3. It's kind of like a self-talk. You're like, dude, we're doing this. Count to 3, take a deep breath, and just do it. And that's exactly what I do all the time. Sometimes I still get nervous doing these videos, though, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Take a deep breath. And then I just do it. So, anyways, hopefully, if that's helpful to anybody, everybody fails. It's not all just success. And you can learn a lot from both. Both things teach you a ton about yourself and hopefully just make you a better person. So anyways, guys, I'm going to bounce on out of here. Hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. See a bunch of you guys over at the live clinic tomorrow. I'll link it down below. And if you want to check out the guitar course while it's here, 50% off, that is also linked down below. And I'm going to bounce on out of here. All right, bye, homies. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. End it bluesy roller coaster of love style? What? Bam. Unplugged, dude.